Hello and welcome. This is The Big Question on NDTV Profit. I'm Vikram Boza, and tonight we have two critical debates that in many ways reflect a larger shift in how work itself is being reshaped. From Silicon Valley to Indian city streets, there are different worlds, but they're driven by the same pressures of disruption, cost pressures, and uncertainty. So let's bring up the first debate. It is to do with big tech, mass layoffs, AI disruption, and a 60-day visa clock that is putting thousands of Indian tech professionals under pressure. That's debate number one. And then we come back home with auto and taxi unions on strike in Delhi NCR. We have our panel to take this question to. Let me introduce you to them. Let's bring in Mr. Ganesh Natarajan, Chairman of GTT Data Solutions, Honeywell Automation, 5F World, the former Chairman of NASSCOM, joining us from Mumbai. And also from the capital, we have Dinesh Jotwani, founder of Jotwani Associates, a legal firm that he set up after he gave up life in the US. Good evening to both of you, gentlemen. What do you say to this, what Mr. Natarajan is saying? It is a job hazard. Do you see it that way? These layoffs, they do expose a core vulnerability. Your visa is tied to your employer. So has the H1B model become fundamentally risky for Indian professionals, Mr. Jotwani?
So what has recently happened is they had increased the fees of H1B.
Yes.
The companies are now paying $100,000 at least for an employee. And recently there was an H1B lottery where the companies like Meta and Amazon who have taken this step, they have spent that much amount of money on newly issued H1B visa. So my take is that this H1B that the slashing of H1B jobs, which is 16 in both the companies could be around 16,000 workers, will massively impact the workers which were there earlier. You know, maybe they were in H1B from last 2 to 3 years, and perhaps you're right. Their role might have been something to do with development, QA, or management, which is what the AI is going to take. Okay, so the freshly issued H1B to the Indian students or Indian employees that has happened is they might be continuing because company has already spent like $100,000. They wouldn't like to let them go to another company. But the middle level, and this is what AI is also going to impact. AI is going to impact the middle level workers,
yes,
because they don't want the QA or the development function, which can be easily done by AI with the younger generation, much more familiar with using AI tools. So it is going to be really a challenging phase for the students. I do understand for the employees who are on H1B, they have now 60 days notice. They either have to, get a new employer,
yes,
which is not easy right now, or they, I have heard students already hearing students, can I apply for a student visa again? So they might come to the student visa. There is called F1 visa. So what they're saying, can we get F1 visa now again? Where there's a challenge in their admissions again to take higher studies.
Yes.
But yet many students have either they take B2, which is multiple business visa, or F1, or come back to the country. So this is a big challenge for students who are there. It's a panicking situation that is happening.
Yes.
But I would advise the employees to wait a bit. They have 60 days to see. They might change the role, so they might. So
there is a possibility, but legally you have to follow the law of the land. And 60 days. Immigration expert Kathleen Derosaire is also joining us from New Delhi. But like Mr. Jotwani was saying, there is greater scrutiny. Of course, there are the visa switches that they would be angling for, B1, B2, as a stopgap arrangement. But the exit routes for H1B workers is getting narrower. There's no taking away from that. In fact, Mr. Jotwani, I'm wondering if the companies are effectively using the H1B system when they require the talent, but then they're shedding that responsibility when it comes to the downturns. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Companies, they're called FANG, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. They're called FANG companies. They have, when the talent was required in USA, they sponsored H1B students and employees, and now When it comes to a situation when they don't need them, I will say, maybe because of the advent of AI
Yes.
or so it's basically a business for them. Okay, it's not like India where you may consider an employee. Also, maybe try to place him on some other role. Maybe try to train them in AI.
Yes.
But here we have a specific role. This employee was hired for this particular role. He will continue to do it. And if if his job is taken away by AI process, there is no mercy on that.
There is no mercy. It's quite
there is
clear.
no mercy.
Yeah, we are clearly hearing and seeing tonight is that this is no longer just about layoffs. It's about a system where opportunity comes. It comes with fragility. And the H1B dream still opens doors, and America is still that dream, like Mr. Natarajan is saying, but those doors can shut. They can shut just as quickly, and that's a risk that India's brightest talent can no longer ignore. I want to thank my guests for joining us, Ganesh Natarajan, Kathleen Deroser, and Dinesh Jotwani. Thank you for joining us with your insights on the big question.